Yeah, that's right. So是有明确的我这个我看到了，绿花是他妈的，他妈我。Yeah. Assalamualaikum brother, you can go to the video right now.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر. إن الحمد لله نحمده تعالى ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونؤمن به ونثني عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. اللهم اجعلنا من أصحاب هذا الفوز العظيم واجعلنا اللهم برحمتك ومنك وكرمك من ورثة جنة النعيم. My dear respected brothers and sisters, we always begin with praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking His help and forgiveness, and we seek refuge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the evil within ourselves and through our bad deeds. Whomsoever Allah guides, there is no one to misguide. And whomsoever Allah allows to be astray, none can guide him or her. I bear witness and testify openly and secretly, none has a right to be worshipped other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. He has no part and no associate. And I also bear witness and testify that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his slave and his messenger. May peace and blessings be upon him, his family, his noble companion, and those who follow him until the end of time. Ahbab al-Kiram, my brothers and sisters, in one of the greatest hadith, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he summarized, in my perspective, it is basically the shortest human development workshop, the shortest statement, few words that has a meaning which can be change your life completely. This hadith was narrated by Imam Muslim, Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, authentic hadith, قال صلى الله عليه وسلم المؤمن القوي. You heard this hadith many times. But let me discuss this hadith with a little bit of explanation. المؤمن القوي خير وأحب إلى الله من المؤمن الضعيف. A strong believer is better and more dear to Allah than the weak one. وفي كل خير, and in both of them there is a good in. There is good in both of them. وفي كل خير احرص على ما ينفعك. احرص على ما ينفعك. احرص means be eager, adhere to what's beneficial for you. احرص على ما ينفعك ولا تعجز. احرص على ما ينفعك واستعن بالله, and keep asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking aid from Allah. واستعن بالله ولا تعجز, and do not refrain and do not give up. ولا تعجز. واستعن بالله ولا تعجز ولا تقل لو أني فعلت كذا كان كذا وكذا. And do not say, if you are afflicted in any way, do not say, if I had taken this or that step, if I had taken this or that step, it would have resulted into such and such. If maybe I committed wrong in that step or in that matter. فإن لو تفتح عمل الشيطان, as the word if is an opening door for the shaitan to come through. Ahbab al-Kiram, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam opened the door for us to maintain our both life, spiritual life and materialistic life, which is the matter that at the end of time we're supposed to live our life here with balance. There is something that related and there is something that related to our life. And here's the point. Let's get to an agreement that we observe nowadays. Many Muslims, a lot of them, the balance of their life is not there. Sometimes we see some Muslims, when it comes to the spiritual aspect, they are good at it. They pray the 5 regular prayers, they observe the spiritual and rituals matters of Islam, they go to the masjid, they adhere to Islam. And on the other hand, they are not, that their life, when it comes to the worldly matters, they are weak. They don't have the determination. They have an excuse. Looks like they take an excuse as long as they are spiritually in a good shape. So even though if they are failures or they are not good or they are not success when it comes to the worldly life, it doesn't matter. And this is the hadith, it comes to with different meaning. So on the other hand, you might say some people who are very talented when it comes to their worldly life. You see them, they are successful in their businesses, they are successful in their degree, they do a lot of things. and spiritually they are so weak. They are not the way it's supposed to be. They are weak of their iman. The faith, the iman, the rituals, the relationship, their connection with Allah Azza wa Jal is not the way it's supposed to be. So, Ahbab al-Kiram, this hadith is a guidance from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Neither one of them is taking benefit from this hadith. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, it was narrated by Umar radiallahu anhu, one day he entered the masjid and he found some people who spent the whole day inside the masjid. And he got the durra, and he got his durra, and he started, smacking them, or he said, go out, فإن السماء لا تمطر ذهبا ولا فضة. The sky will never rain as silver and gold. Go out and work hardly, and begin your career and do something for your life. So the Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, he understood the reality. So taking an excuse from spiritual matters that you cannot achieve your goal when it comes to the worldly life is not acceptable at all. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he guided us in this hadith how can we take advantage of our life. Allah Azza wa Jalla has given us limited time, and we can achieve a lot of things within this limited time. Ahbab al-Kiram, again, if we think about this hadith, it will guide us to multiple things. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Al-mu'min al-qawi خير وأحب إلى الله من المؤمن الضعيف." Being positive, being strong in your iman, having a strong faith in all your matters, it is one of the goals Islam encourages Muslims to do. And this is exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also in the Quran. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala recommends us to do some actions to offer for Him, He gave us the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look, for instance, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, فَاذْكُرُونِي أَذْكُرْكُمْ. Meaning, when you reach out to the level that spiritually, you have that kind of feeling that you are very close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the level you taste the ibadah and you taste the faith and iman. وفي حديث آخر صحيح مسلم رضي الله عنه also, Imam Muslim he narrated Abu Hurairah رضي الله عنه said, قال صلى الله عليه وسلم, يقول الله عز وجل, Allah عز وجل said himself, the exalted Allah the exalted said, يقول الله عز وجل, من عادى لي وليا فقد آذنته بالحرب. من عادى لي وليا فقد آذنته بالحرب. I will declare a war against him who treats with hostility a pious or worshipper of mine. من عادى لي وليا فقد آذنته بالحرب وما تقرب إلي عبدي بأحب إلي مما افترضته عليه. And my slave never come closer to me with any action in the first level other than the actions that I prescribed upon him, which is the matters that Allah Azza wa Jalla made it mandatory upon us, which is the salawat, the zakah, and so on. وَمَا تَقَرَّبَ إِلَيَّ عَبْدِي بِأَحَبَّ إِلَيَّ مِمَّا افترضته عَلَيْهِ وَلَا يَزَالُ عَبْدِي يَتَقَرَّبُ إِلَيَّ بِالنَّوَافِلِ. And my servant come closer to me by increasing nawafil. And the word nawafil, there's misunderstanding. Many people, they take it from this. I want to make it clear, and I want to elaborate this term exactly. Nawafil, it doesn't belong to just only the act of worship. Some people, they take nawafil as what? As the only if you increase the amount of fasting or prayer or something else. No, completely wrong. Nawafil here is when you exert, when you offer to Allah Azza wa Jal, when you do increasing any kind that bring you closer to Allah Azza wa Jal, such as your money can be nawafil, your job can be nawafil, your intelligence can be nawafil, your business can be nawafil, or you're active. When you are active and when you do something, the only thing here the only thing that you should maintain is sincerity. As long as you are sincere to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you offer any kind that bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are on the right path. So أحباب الكلام يقول قال وما يزال عبدي يتقرب إليه بالنوافل. It could be increasing of ibadat, that's true. It could be increasing of
money, that's true. It could be increasing of knowledge. It could be increasing for something that you aim to serve the religion of Allah Azza wa Jal and serve Islam and seeking, to achieve something for the beneficial of Islam and Ummah. Meanwhile, you to benefit yourself. So if you act with this, the Prophet ﷺ يقول ما يزال عبدي, Allah says وما يزال عبدي يتقرب إلي بالنوافل. My servant come closer to me by increasing nawafil. As I said, increasing nawafil, it could be reading Quran, it could be prayers, it could be fasting, it could be donations, it could be serving the Islam. You see some people, subhanallah, they spend from their time. We have seen, brother, I think in Germany, an individual person. He did great job for Islam to the level, he stood up on the street and he served Muslim and many people converted to Islam. And he cleared out negativity about Islam from the people, this is a great achievement. Am I right? And we have seen some people who go to Africa, such as, I forgot what's the Kuwaitian guy, I forgot his name, the businessman, who spent all his life in Africa, and he opened hundreds of thousands of people who converted Islam by his hand. And at the end of time, he chose not to be in a palace in Kuwait, but he chose to be in a cave in Africa. But he spent his effort until the Prophet فَإِذَا أَحْبَبْتُهُ, and when he reached out to the level of Allah, يقول الله عز وجل, Allah said in the hadith, قال فَإِذَا أَحْبَبْتُهُ, and when Allah loves his servant, because of this, because he knows what to do, قال فإذا أحببته كنت سمعه الذي يسمع به. I will be his hearing that he hears with. I will be his eyes that he sees with. I will be his foot that he walks with. I will be his hand that he heads with. قال فإذا أحببته كنت سمعه الذي يسمع به وبصره الذي يبصر به ويده التي يبطش بها ورجله التي يمشي بها. Doesn't mean Allah Azza wa Jalla, حاشا لله أعوذ بالله, you do not take any similarity here. It means Allah will stand for him out there. You will be, Allah Azza wa Jalla will be your protector, your guardian, and he will be your helper, your aid. He will be out there. This is the meaning of the hadith. Meaning you became, looks like your boss will be Allah Azza wa Jalla, and you will be under his protection and under his guardianship. He will the one who will take care of you, provide you, do everything for you. فإذا أحببته كنت سمعه الذي يسمع به وبصره الذي يبصر به ويده التي يبطش بها ورجله التي يمشي بها. قلت ما سمعتم وأستغفر الله العظيم لكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. My brothers and sisters, after we praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and send our prayers to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace and blessing be upon our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I would like to elaborate something here about Kiram. If you go and follow up and read about the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, you will see him a role model in both sides. Not only spiritually, it's true that he was the best worshipper, but meanwhile the Prophet ﷺ, he is the one who teaches us positivity. How can we live our life and eliminate any negativity from our life? Being optimist is a part of Islam. And what they call despair or being يكون الإنسان متشائم في هذه الحياة is not from our deen. كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يحب الفأل. The Prophet, he loved optimism. He loved to see the people optimistic. Every time he see any negative comes from any one of the community, he eliminated it and he rejected it. Why? Because he wants us to be positive, even in the worst scenario. Even in the worst incident that happened during the life of the Prophet ﷺ, whether in his personal life or with the community life. We know the Prophet ﷺ in one of the battles, by the time of the Khandaq, the Ghazwat al-Khandaq, when Muslims, they were surrounded by mushrikeen from all over. قال الله عز وجل إذ جاءوكم من فوقكم إذ جاءوكم من فوقكم ومن أسفل منكم, when they come from above you, from behind you, ومن أسفل منكم وإذ زاغت الأبصار, and to the level that any one of the community of the Sahaba, when he walk around, he will see that the enemy or the mushrikeen that will come from that area. وإذ زاغت الأبصار وبلغت القلوب الحناجر, and the stress has been reached out to their throat. And within this scenario, within this case, ماذا قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم? In authentic hadith, Allah, the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, in hadith, the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, when he came and he found the Sahaba, it was in a very tough, a very hard time. He came and he found them there. They are feared. They are going through such a kind of difficulties. And the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he took his mi'wal and he broke up that rock that gave them hard time. And the Prophet ﷺ, Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest, 3 times. And the Prophet ﷺ, he began giving them the optimism, saying, قال صلى الله عليه وسلم, رأيت قصور كسرى, I have seen the palace of Iraq and Sham and Palestine and Yemen, and my ummah will reach out to that level. And look, Allah Azza wa Jal told us that there are people who they are frustrated to the level, and they are, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exposed them, and then he said, وَإِذْ يَقُولُ الْمُنَافِقُونَ وَالَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ مَا وَعَدَنَا اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ إِلَّا غُرُورًا. The hypocrites and those who have disease in their heart, they said, look what Muhammad is saying. Any one of us cannot even go out to one, like for a few steps to have, to do his private things, or to use the bathroom. لا يستطيع أحدنا أن يذهب ليقضي حاجته. And Muhammad, Muhammad, he promises us that we will reach out to Yemen, Iraq, Sham, Palestine. So, but did that happen? Yes. So the Prophet ﷺ teaches us how should we optimize, how should we live our life with positivity. Ahbab al-Kiram, I know for sure you know more than about this, but it's a reminder. And also, Ahbab al-Kiram, in my opinion, there is something that relating to the coming up event, which is the election. And I have advice for this for me, and I think that's the Muslim, that it's supposed to be for every Muslim. There's 2 things we have to understand. First, being negative and do not or choose to stay back is not a part of Islam. That's not from our deen. The Prophet ﷺ, he was, as I said, he teaches us how it's supposed to be positive. And we know the 3 levels of changing our situations. بِيَدِهِ بِلِسَانِهِ, with his tongue, with his heart, and the Prophet ﷺ explained how can we change the munkar. So with that being said, we're supposed to engage, we're supposed to involve with the coming up with, keep in mind the scenario that happened for our brothers and sisters in Gaza, with putting between our eyes almost 50,000 murders from our brothers and sisters. Keep in mind what happened for the children and the infants and those who have been killed innocent, they have no guilt. Keep in mind also about 200,000 injured who have been go through difficulties. Keep in mind how the amount would happen for our brothers and sisters in there. I cannot encourage anyone to go to any side, but I encourage everyone to go out there and let them know that we are here and we actually disagree with what happened from this politics or from this, from this nizam or from this system. So, Ahbab al-Kiram, it is a part of our deen to be positive and to be negative or to stay back. As I said, Ahbab al-Kiram, it's very important to do our best to change the situations. And I think Muslims supposed to give something, do something. As you see, maybe recently you have seen even some of the candidate, they visited the Muslims. They began thinking about, that's true, we cannot neglect the Muslims when they get all together. And so with that being said, it's a part of our deen, as long as, unless someone has different opinion about this, then that's a different story. But as long as it's, even if we think about if we do not think about religious matters or the community matters, think about the necessity. At the end of time, it's a part of our necessity. We are seeking for something that will benefit us, benefit our generation, our ummah, and helping the Muslims to, inshallah, as good in the future. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala an yaghfir li wa lakum wa an yubarik li wa lakum wa as'aluhu bimannihi wa fadlihi wa si'ati rahmatihi an yarfa' 'anna wa 'ankum al-bala. Allahumma farij al-ham, kashif al-gham, مجيب دعوة المضطرين، فرج هم إخواننا في غزة. اللهم فرج همهم واستر عيبهم ونفس كربهم وآمن روعهم. اللهم أبدلهم من بعد خوفهم أمنا، من بعد ذلهم عزة. اللهم أنزل عليهم من اللطف أضعاف ما نزل بهم من البلاء. اللهم داوي جرحاهم وعاف مبتلاهم وأشبع جائعهم واكس عاريهم. اللهم عليك بمن خذلهم، اللهم عليك بمن خذلهم. اللهم من نصرهم فانصره، من نصرهم فانصره، ومن خذلهم فاخذله يا ارحم الراحمين. اللهم يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث فاغثنا يا مغيث غيث الايمان في قلوبنا وغيث الرحمه في انفسنا. اللهم انا نسالك يا حي يا قيوم ان تغفر لنا ولابائنا وامهاتنا والمسلمين والمسلمات الاحياء منهم والاموات انك قريب مجيب الدعوات. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب القبر والنار. صلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد. ان الله يامر بالعدل والاحسان وايتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروا الله يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله اكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. واقم الصلاه.